All right. Welcome back everyone dito sa latest episode ng Deep Dive. Oh my God. Camille, if maalala nyo yung mga forecast namin ni Sir Ronald separately, I think both of us sa One News and different platforms, sinabi natin fireworks kagad ang 2026, Red Wedding kagad ang 2026. But we were more having Manila in mind, not Latin America. We were more thinking of Quezon City than Caracas. Sir Ronald Llamas, bago natin pag-usapan ang si Ombudsman Boying, yung potential list niya, Red Wedding na ba, what are we looking at the coming days and weeks sa Pilipinas, magsimula muna tayo dito sa, hindi ko alam, postmodern, performative, ano ba? Anong klaseng regime change yan? Na-abduct lang yung presidente, but the defense minister is making statement, the interim minister is there, the VP is there. It looks like the whole regime is still intact, and Rubio just announced that there will be no further military action. So, ano how are we gonna describe this? If this is Monroe Doctrine, ano yan, on the cheap, what's going on here?
Baka sinosoften lang nila. Baka ang tingin nila, yung pinaka-hardline is Maduro himself. No? Pwede, pero hindi naman tayo privy kung what's really happening behind the scenes. Di ba? Dahil mukhang hindi naman babagsak pa yung gobyerno dahil nga the infrastructure of the government and the political party running it is still intact. No? Baka nga yung opposition sa gobyerno, baka nga malagay sa spot. No, dahil nga, siyempre, nakikita ng tao, direct intervention ito. Perhaps ayaw nila kay Maduro, perhaps ayaw nila sa gobyerno, pero a direct intervention, military at that, ah, baka tumahimik sila muna. Wala pa ako narinig na statement do sa traditional opposition kay Maduro. May narinig ka na ba? Na
Actually,
praising the US attack, praising the ang tawag ba diyan? Kidnapping ni, ni Maduro. So wala pa ako nakikita so
parang
far.
digong, parang dinigong ba siya? Dinigong ba si Maduro? Parang inabduct lang, tinurn over sa US. Parang, ano ba
Pero
tawag dyan?
military attacks ito eh, di ba? Bago siya kinuha, may mga military attacks. At bago itong atake na ito, may mga nahuli silang mga US Green Beret. No, ibig sabihin meron talagang plano even before. No? Sabagay, lagi naman sinasabi yan ni Trump. At saka binobomba nila without concrete proof yung mga alleged drug boats. Venezuelan boats carrying drugs daw. Paano mo malalaman? No? Hindi mo naman nakita yung ebidensya. Di ba? Oh. Kaya parang it was building up and it was not that unexpected. Dahil nagtetrete na siya. Pero ang elephant in the room dito ay yung Venezuela, ang pinakamalaki, ang oil reserve
Yeah.
sa buong mundo, no? Yung uri ng oil na ginagamit sa mga industries. Hindi yung oil na ginagamit sa kotse, no? Ito yung industrial oil, no? Kaya very important ang Venezuela dito sa supply ng oil, lalo na sa industry.
Lalo na sa China, we had just a Chinese envoy, a special envoy deployed. Just there were news coming out just 12 to 16 hours ago about the Chinese envoy.
Parang
Next thing
yun
you
nga
know,
yung,
may Delta Force operations na.
parang yun nga yung trigger eh. Di ba? Yung visit na yun ng Chinese envoy. Tapos nag-react din yung Russia dahil yung kanilang oil tanker na papunta pa lang ng Venezuela para kumuha ng oil, kinakabahan sila. Baka pati yung bombahin.
Medyo wild na tayo, Sir Ronald. Anything can happen because just 48 hours ago, the big news was yung Chinese tanker na nag-evade ng blockade ng US at hindi naman siya, well, hindi siya ginalaw, but I don't know. The way I'm thinking it, ang dali yung panghuli kay ano parang there was one Caracas-based analyst kanina was just saying na it took just 25 minutes or so to abduct Maduro. Siguro dahil he was entertaining the Chinese envoy, hindi na siya nagtago. Wala na siyang time magtago. Andun lang siya sa ano. Tapos binomba pa yata yung mausoleum ni Hugo Chavez. I mean, that was
Yes,
quite a...
yan. Binomba. So talagang galit. Oh. Galit ang US. Ang tanong, yung mga Latin American states, anong statement nila? No? So far, yung nakikita ko, condemnation. Ah,
Right, definitely from Pedro. Gustavo of Colombia, very, very strong statements.
Si
Trinidad
Lula.
and Tobago, neutral daw sila, medyo pa-safe. But Chile under Boric and also Sanchez of Spain have offered to mediate to make sure this will not escalate into a full invasion of full war. Kasi iba yung parang special ops yung ginawa nila, Delta Force Operation, parang yung ginawa nila pero iba yung all-out war. That would be a guerrilla warfare. That would be kind of a Libya kind of situation. I think no one wants that in Latin America.
Yeah. Saka very surgical. Very surgical yung kanilang operation. Pero ang hinihintay ko, anong statement ng Mexico? Anong statement ng Brazil? No, yung mga higante sa Latin America. 'Di ba? Yan yung hinihintay ko. What
Well,
will be their
Argentina, alam natin ano maging statement. For sure supportive si Beshi
ah,
ni Trump dyan.
yes, yes. Oo. Pero iba yung Brazil. Very critical si Lula at saka yung asawa niya kay Trump. Tapos syempre socialist yung presidente ng Spain, ng Mexico, 'di ba? Yung Trinidad and Tobago, it's just a small island. So it will play safe.
Hindi, sabi na neutral kasi baka ma-accuse sila na they facilitated the operation. Hoy, wala kaming kinalaman dyan. Parang yung style ni Sir Ronald. Wala akong sinasabi pero parang ganun yung ginawa nila.
Si Richard yan. Ganyan.
Di umano. Di umano. Sir Ronald, bukas na lang pangalan natin Di umano series kasi maraming mga mga name dropping na naman mangyari. Um,
Yes.
I know this Venezuela situation is tricky, especially for us who see ourselves as progressives. Obviously, we believe in rules-based international order. I still want to see what's the international law basis for this. I'm
Mhm.
surprised that the EU representative, top representative, wala siyang sinabi kundi we're just consulting and monitoring. I thought
Ah,
Europe is for rules-based order. Do they have any international legal stance on I mean, is it
yes,
even legal?
but they're also very careful dahil nga yung threat ng US na i-abandon sila, no?
On
To fend
Ukraine?
themselves against Russia. So, lumalaro rin yung mga yan, di ba? Lalo na nasa gitna sila ng malakihang trade negotiations with the US. At si Trump is clearly a bully representing the policeman of the world, the US. So, kung may tulay na bully, hindi ako, si Trump, no?
Siya yung Western Hemisphere, ikaw yung Eastern Hemisphere.
Well,
Ronald Llamas, the bully
isa
of
kasi
the...
rito, lagi nagreklamo, binubuli ka daw siya.
See? Gawa kami ng anonymous group namin, lahat ng mga nabiktima ni Sir Ronald na nabully. I think si Walden din sasama na soon at the ratings are going. Sir, okay sir, I won't say more kasi alam ko as we speak, maraming nag-aaway din sa akin Kasi sabi ko, yes, criticize regime change, pero wag mo naman i-defense si Maduro. Alam naman, napakapalpak naman niya. Grabe. I didn't know he even privatized some of the nationalized industries by Hugo Chavez. He fed his own oligarchs. Ang dami pala niyang ginawang kalokohan na even against the legacy of his supposed mentor.
Tama. Ibang klase rin niya si Maduro. Dahil kausap nga daw niya yung ibon, di ba?
Medyo naging eccentric siya talaga.
Oh,
May
di ba?
mga
Kumbaga si Barsaga, kausap pusa. Si Maduro, kausap ibon.
may meow-meow din pala.
Oh, yung
Baka
spirit,
nag-eyewash ka. Alam mo yung
spirit
eyewash
yata,
ka yun.
spirit yata ni Hugo Chavez yun eh. Yung
Ah,
nasa ibon. So,
ayan
ikausap
tuloy.
mo na
Ayun,
ibon.
akala ng US, bangag siguro, kaya na-abduct siya. Sabi niya, bangag ito. Kaya
Oh.
ingat kayo dyan, huwag kayo mag-meow-meow, biglang ma-abduct kayo dyan. Okay, we'll keep it there, Sir Al. Baka madulas tayo. I know this is a sensitive issue. I mean, we are trying to put some dark humor around it, but this is a very serious issue. As we speak, si Dugin, yung top geopolitical thinker or self-styled geopolitical thinker sa Russia, is saying to China, ayan na, wala na rules of the game, invade na Taiwan. So, some of us are watching this and saying, even though you are not on the side of Maduro, even though you believe the Venezuelan people definitely deserve better than this. What we fear is also this kind of a new world order whereby kanya-kanyang superpower, they'll just do whatever they want in their neighborhood.
Yes, oo. Ang sasabihin ng China, hindi naman pala kayo sumusunod sa international rules-based order. So, tapos kami babanatan nyo. Meron kayong one China policy. Ibig sabihin, ang tingin nyo, Taiwan is part of China. Tapos takot na takot kayo kung i-implement namin yung aming right, no, as a state para i-invade yan. So, ang nangyayari ngayon, sabi mo nga, anything goes.
Yun ang
No?
nakakatakot eh. Pandora's box na naman eh. Parang yung ginawa ni BBM naman sa corruption issue. Let's transition to the Philippines, Sir Ronald, habang we still don't know what's going on. So as of this taping, to be honest, I think everyone is confused. Bakit like ano ba to, postmodern? Is there gonna be more operations? So let's just be humble enough to say we don't know enough yet. We just know that it looks like there was a special Delta operations that it looks like Maduro was indeed captured because even his own top lieutenants cannot account for him. Now, before we see the proof of life, baka mamaya we can have more comments on this. Sir Ronald, balikan natin ng Pilipinas. Ano tong kwento kasi nakita ko yung interview niyo with Boying Remulla kasi when was that, Sir Ronald? Kasi ngayon mga DDS kung sino-sino gumagawa ng misinformation na naman about Boying Remulla and his state of health. Baka mamaya next thing gagawa silang story na abduct din.
I think that happened during early December, yung interview namin sa kanya, no? At saka 2 weeks afterwards, yung kanyang kapatid naman, si John Vic, before Christmas. No? Ang sabi naman niya, nung tinanong namin sa kanya, yung kanyang health status, very ko naman siya, very chill. Na sabi niya ay going strong. Nag-weight na nga daw siya, nag-workout, no? At lumobo yung kanyang timbang kumpara dati na mga around 150, 160 lang. So, ang sabi naman ni Kwan, ni John Vic kanina, ay nag-golf lang naman daw. At saka kaya hindi nakikita ay dahil Pasko at saka New Year. Totoo naman, di ba? Oo, di ba? Tayo lang naman.
Except kung ikaw si Ronald Diamas. I mean,
Tayo
di
lang
man
naman.
lang kayo nagpahinga kahit New Year. Ano, nagla-live pa rin kayo na kabilang channel. Ano ba naman ito mga to? Sabi ko, pahinga muna kayo.
Oo, the big story nga. Paskong Pasko, Eve of Christmas, no? Tapos dito sa Arangkada, no? Eve ng Christmas, no?
Oo,
Tapos
nakita ko yun, oo.
tapos dito sa safe house natin, no? That ano yun, New Year yun, di ba?
Na-sensor ka pa si Ronald na yung finger mo Grabe naman yun ginawa sa'yo. Hindi mo naman sinadya na ginamit. Sabi mo, dalawa ang aking, dalawa yung aking. Ano ulit, Sir Ronald? Ulitin mo nga. Ano yung dalawang hiling mo for this year?
Ha? Ang tunay na anti-dynasty law, di ba?
Yun ba yung may middle finger? Ano yung isa?
Depende kung anong anti-dynasty law yung papasa. No? So magbabago yung aking finger.
Magbabago yung finger.
Changeable yun. Yeah, changeable.
May Freudian slip ka pala sa Ronald. Medyo physically, Grabe pala sa Ronald. Daming
Ah,
natuwa doon, ha. That was crazy. Binubuli ka naman ni, ni
ah.
Bok. Ay, hindi pala si Bok. Um,
Parang mahirap ako i-bully.
Hindi, feeling ko lang hindi ka nagpapahuling buhay. Pero napapansin ko na mabuli rin kita once in a while nga eh. Napansin ko nga sa Ron, napipikon ka rin minsan sa akin na nakikita ko, gumagano'n-ganon ka na, nag-eye roll. Nahuli ka ng mami ko eh, dalawang beses. Tingnan mo sabi niya, panoorin mo si Ronald nung nagsasalita ka ng purong ikaw, nag-eye roll na siya.
Hindi, hindi yung pikon. Ang tawag doon, eye roll. No, hindi yung
Ay,
pikon.
nako.
Look na lang ako sa Siri. Pag exasperated ako, ang tawag doon, exasperation. No?
Paano ka naman ma-exasperate? You're all over the place. Tapos,
Tingnan mo, na-provoke ka na, nagtataas ka na ng boses.
Cynthia Villar pa rin. Saan ang New Year resolution mo sa Ronald? Ang dami mo resolution sa bayan. Ano bang resolution mo sa sarili mo? Alam mo yung actor na yung comedian, I have
Sobrang,
absolutely nothing to change about myself. Ganon ka ba, Sir Ronald?
sabi nga nung kanta, gusto kong bumait pero di ko magawa.
Sir
Alam mo yun?
Ronald, talagang Jejemon ka wala. Jejemon yung mga So, when are we expecting, Sir Ronald, itong Remulla list? Should we expect it anytime soon? Bago
Well,
gagawa na
dapat
siya ng
mangyari yan yung January or February, at least before EDSA. Kailangan may mapakulong na sila ng mga big fish. No? Oo. Nung sinabi kong big fishes, kinorek ako ni Christian.
yung grammar mo. Big whales na lang, big
Diba?
whales.
Gusto ko kasi plural. Hindi na daw kailangan. Dahil pag sinabi mo big fish, yun ang ibig sabihin nun. Hindi, gusto ko big fishes dahil sa UST, fishes kami.
Oo. Hindi, baka we can consult. Alam mo yung Associated Press, di ba? They always release this new parang, kunyari yung gaslit ba yung pass niya or gaslighted or something like that. So I don't know, there's some rules around that on journalism. Minsan, I just watch out na lang for Associated Press. But, syempre, nagtuturo ng journalism yung kabilang channel. So, Sir Ronald, you have to follow them. Okay, why not big
Sabi ng
fish,
chat
big
GPT,
whale?
hindi. Sabi ng chat GPT, pwede kong sabihin fishes.
O, yun pala eh. Ayun pala eh. Ito rin. Ayoko na mag-chat GPT, baka mababash na naman ako. So, Sir Ronald, honestly, your read is the reason hindi nag-deliver. Kasi alam mo naman natin, unrealistic yun. I mean, Justice Carpio was telling last year pa na malabo na within 3-4 months. Ano yan, you're usually looking at around 5 or 6 months. So that's around January, February,
Yeah.
starting from last year. So, ano yan, pa-cute lang yan or dahil lang under pressuring yung ombudsman
Kasama
because
pa yan
BBM
eh.
keeps on saying this and that?
Kasama sa framework ng performative politics yan. Di ba? You have to
Yung mas mo
perform.
in optics
No,
na.
ang problema, may limits din yung performative politics. Especially now that everybody is anticipating. Everybody is waiting. Everybody is angry. Tapos sasabihan mo na, oy, December 15, kakasuhan na yung lahat. Oy, before Christmas, magpapakulong na kami. No? So, baka na-overplay mo yung hand mo sa performative politics. Eh, alam ni Justice Carpio yung sistema eh. Alam niya yung weaknesses ng ating judicial system. So alam niya, hindi yan ganun kadali. Pero bigyan natin siya ng kwan, ng early this year, no? Na merong gawin. Especially sana before the EDSA celebration. Because again, the EDSA celebration will be another September 21, another November 30, perhaps much bigger. Dahil as we speak, no, ang pinaplano ngayon dito sa EDSA celebration ay nationwide, led by 86 dioceses of the Catholic Church plus plus. Tapos again, meron na namang sentro sa EDSA. This one might be bigger dahil hindi naman exams week at tapos na ang Pasko at saka New Year at medyo galit yung mga tao na wala pa napapakulong. No? At ikatlo, alam ko may plano ang Catholic Church ng mga prosesyon from Santo Domingo to EDSA. So ibig sabihin, medyo different yan in terms of scale, in terms of intensity. Ngayon, kung wala ka pa napapakulong by February, sasabog ang galit ng tao. At kanino sasabog na mukha yan? Sa presidente. Diba? So, para hindi mangyari yan, kailangan mabilisin nila. No? Yung sinasabi ni John Vic na June ay mapupuno na raw yung kanyang kulungan. People can't wait until June. Di ba? Yun. Kaya medyo very defining itong parating na 2026 dahil sa usapin ng anti-corruption, dahil sa usapin ng palapit na 2028 election. Ngayon na, magiging early in 2028 eh. Ngayon kasi, merong napakalaking anti-corruption scandal. So, who will lead this? So, yung mga gustong tumakbo sa 2028 ay magpapakilala na as its leader. No? Dahil hindi sila magpapakilala sa 2027. 2026 sila magpapakilala. Or else, since power abhors a vacuum, other will fill that vacuum. No? Others will fill that.
I
Kung
mean,
yung senador na
it was
leader,
nature, but sige, power.
yes,
Hindi ako,
kung yung mga leader ng Democratic opposition na ang tingin nila ay parang everything is just normal, baka nagkakamali sila. No? Hindi pwedeng business as usual ito. No? Dahil nga, iba yung nangyari. Iba yung outrage. Iba yung extent ng anti-corruption movement at this point. So hinihintay sila na mag-scale up, mag-level up to be part of the leadership. Dahil yung simbahan cannot be the political leader. They can be the moral leader. But the moral leadership has limits. Ang hinihintay ng tao, sino yung mga alternative politicians who will lead this anti-corruption movement? No? Hindi pwede na business as usual. Ako ay senador, so gagawin ko muna yung trabaho ko as senator. Tsaka na yan. Ako ay mayor, gagawin ko muna yung trabaho ko as mayor. no? Saan kuweba ba
Bakit
sila?
parang may pinaparinggan ka, Sir
Saan
Ronald?
kuweba ba
May
sila nakatira?
pinaparinggan ka ba, Sir Ronald?
Hindi ba, wala. Saan kuweba ba sila nakatira? Hindi ba nila nakikita ito? Itong outrage na ito? Hindi ba nila nakikita no, itong defining moment na ito? No? Para sabihin na business as usual? Hindi. So yung mag-scale up na leader politically nitong movement na ito might be the black swan going into 2028.
I mean, it's not even black swan, Sir Ronald, no? It's more like gray rhino, di ba? I mean, almost predictable naman what is the direction of the wind. I mean, just like what's happening in Venezuela. Hindi po Valenzuela, kasi may mga nag-comment, kamusta si Senator Gatchalian? Ayan na naman itong mga kababayan natin. Seryosong topic, dinamay pa si... Bakit sabi ko, bakit Gatchalian? Okay, Venezuela po. Venezuela po ang topic, hindi Valenzuela po. So, no, I mean, honestly, Sir Ron, I mean, Trump is just the perfect example na basically anything goes, no? I mean, this is the age of disruption and unthinkable. So, talagang the old, rule book, throw it out of the window na, Sir Ronald, no? Level up na lahat dapat eh.
Tama, tama. No? Ang problema, you see vacuums everywhere. May vacuum sa Malacanang, may vacuum dito sa anti-corruption movement, no? So something has to give, 'di ba? Something has to give. No?
Well, in terms of something has to give, Sir Ronald, let's go through this. So, first of all, ano yung mga sa tingin mo could trigger a massive backlash? Kunyari, kung hindi sinama dun sa listahan ni Remulla, I mean like, we didn't want to do too much name drops, but like basically, ano yung red line dito ng opposition at ibang tao na if they don't see X, Y, and Z there, ano na yan? Basically, anything goes, including civil disobedience or even uncivil disobedience.
Halimbawa, kung walang kongresista man lang na makukulong, makakasuhan, kung walang cabinet secretary na makukulong, makakasuhan, kung walang senador na makakasuhan at makukulong, no? 'Di ba? Tapos kung walang reforms na i-offer sa tao, ayaw nyo ng wage increase, no? So ano ibibigay nyo? Ano yan? Tiway na lang? Galit na lang? Kailangan meron ka rin maibibigay na konkreto, no? Ikatlo, yung mga priority bills na sinasabi mo. Yung mga priority bills parang in limbo na. Ang anti-dynasty bill ng speaker at saka ng presidential son na ang dating ay institutionalizing dynasties. 'Di ba? Tapos ICI na binild up mo, ngayon ay one-man quorum lang ang natira. Tapos yung ICI-AC bill to strengthen an independent investigation committee on against corruption ay still in limbo, 'di ba? Tapos yung party list reform law, local government reform law ay nowhere pa rin. So, you have to give something back, 'di ba? So these things, all of this has to happen yesterday, no? Hindi wag mong i-underestimate yung patience ng tao. Wag mong i-underestimate yung outrage ng tao, 'di ba? Perhaps naging safe ka last year. Pero this year, baka hindi ka na safe if you cannot do all these things. At wag masyadong
You're referring to the
defensive,
president, not Jingo.
President, at wag masyadong defensive, no? Na uy, ginawa na namin lahat 'yan. Ha? No? Uy, masyado naman kayo impatient. Oh? Kayo nagpromisa, hindi naman kami. Hindi naman yung Richard Hidalgo ang nagpromisa eh. Hindi naman promising yun eh, no? So, bakit yung sisisihin si Richard Hidalgo? 'Di ba?
Absolutely have no resolution, nothing to change about myself. Sarah, just to be fair though,
Oo.
have there been some, I mean,
Ah,
obviously far from ideal, but don't
mm.
you think there's some changes, at least adjustments by the congressional leadership right now, especially dun sa issue ng budget, concerns about insertions, at saka mga kababalagan na natin sa nakita natin sa 2025 budget. Do you see at least some snippets of hope or some, I don't know, silver linings there?
Meron naman. Meron namang no, halimbawa, yung sa usapin ng PhilHealth, 'di ba? Kumpara halimbawa doon sa sitwasyon ng PhilHealth doon sa 2025 budget, much better naman ito, 'di ba? Pero ang dami po ring unprogrammed funds, 243 billion, no? Baka part nun ay mag-line budget, line veto ang presidente. Halimbawa, wag na nila isama sa line veto yung foreign assisted sa unprogrammed funds, no? Wag na nila isama dun sa ah, yung military budget, yung cut sa military budget, no? So, yung ganun ba? Pero malaki pa rin ang matitira na unprogrammed funds kahit tanggalin mo yon. So, sa gitna ng massive corruption nung 2025 budget, tapos ganyan pa rin kalaki, mapipika ang tao. Di ba? Mapipika ang tao dyan. Tapos meron pa ring MyFIP, meron pa ring ayuda, meron pa ring AIX, meron pa ring tupad, no, etc. Farm to market roads. Ayusin mo yung rules diyan para hindi yan mawala ng basta-basta at hindi yan magamit ng mga politiko. So, ayusin mo yung rules na sinasuggest ni Senator Ping Lacson, 'di ba? Para ma-mitigate naman yung negative impact niyang tinatawag na soft pork, no? Kung ayaw mo ng reenacted budget, then magkaroon ka ng line veto. Meron ka mga ibito. At yung iba, strengthen mo yung rules, no? Ah, paano yung 2025 budget ang isang trigger dito sa massive corruption scandal na ito, 'di ba? Tapos ngayon makikita mo the same some of the same elements nitong 2025 budget ay nakikita mo sa 2026, 'di ba?
To be fair though, Sir Ronald, it looks like the at least this is the position of the congressional leadership, and if you look at the numbers and the data there, they want to make sure also walang collapse in government spending because they already saw the very negative effect on third quarterly growth, and most likely we're going to miss the 5 to 6% growth target of 2025 by a mile. At also a lot of social programs seems to be there's still some sort of continuity. So I mean, they're trying to square the circle. Is that what's your read of this,
And
Sir Ronald?
program funds are basically the result of spending at yung na-save mo, 'di ba? Spending 'yan savings 'yan sa spending. Wala pa kayong spending. Wala pa kayong savings. Tapos ang laki na ng program funds mo. So, yan, may red flag 'yan. It's not about spending, no? It's about the possibility of corruption. Yun yung sinasabi diyan sa unprogrammed funds. Unprogrammed funds are the result of savings. Ang savings are the result of spending. Wala ka pa nga na-spend Di ba? Yun yung kwan dyan Yun yung red flag na sinasabi ng mga leaders katulad ni Shelo Magno, ni Heidi Mendoza, no? Yung ating mga budget nerds na nagmamatsyag diyan sa budget, no? At wag ka masyado mag-react. Dahil nga may context Ang context, the elephant in the room was the 2025 budget. The context was the massive corruption sa government spending. So, huwag ka masyado mag-react. Sabihin mo na lang, investigahan namin. Uy, pag-uusapan namin. Uy, consider. Huwag mo kagad shoot the messenger. Diba? Dahil iba yung context ngayon.
Um, Going back to this, Sir Ronald, if you're BBM, what should be your game plan in the opening month of the year to make sure na you can turn things around at least to a certain degree? I mean, he's nag-free fall yung kanyang approval ratings. Hindi pa stabilized the situation sa legislature. Is offense the best defense for him, namely vis-a-vis the Duterte? Given all the question marks over Duterte era insertions, Duterte era flood control projects, Pulong budget, and not to mention Sara Duterte's questionable spending, is offense perhaps the best defense for him at this point in time? Kasi mukhang there's no way he can meet at least our standard, the real, genuine progressive standard, without imploding his coalition full of political dynasties and invested people in the status quo. But isn't offense, here, nagpapandit na tayo, isn't offense the best defense for Marcos coming this year?
It's a combination of both. No? Dahil kahit kasi mag-offensive ka, which you should do, no? Laban sa mga pulong Dutertes of this world, laban sa mga commitments mo ng mga priority bills, gawin mo naman. Di ba? So it's a combination of both. Hindi pwedeng just changing the narrative by launching an offense against your enemies. Hindi sustainable 'yon. Dahil ang hinihintay ng mga tao, kaya isang dahilan bumababa yung kanyang approval ratings is because of the commitments he made na magpapakulong siya last year. Magsasampa ng kaso last year. So, kailangan gawin mo rin 'yon. Tapos nag-priority bills ka. Tapos yung priority bills mo, ito resulta. An anti-dynasty, pro-dynasty bill by the speaker. Diba? So, that won't be
Or
enough.
performative. Since purong performative na lang lahat sa Ronald.
But even performative politics has its
I know it
limits.
has its limits, unless you're Duterte and you still have a solid South behind you no matter what. I mean, no, I mean honestly, because everything you're saying is to satisfy us, right?
Hmm.
Basically, the progressives who want genuine political transformation and reforms. At the same time, meron na siyang kalaban na nakaganyan sa kanya na may mas questionable pa ang kanilang background. And then you have this huge number of Filipinos who are just wait and see and really trying to figure out how bad things are or how worse can things become if ever Marcos doesn't get things across the line. Do you get what I'm saying? Kasi parang ang audience, parang everything we're saying is for our audience and also normatively.
Hindi. We're not the audience here. Merong internal survey ang Malacanang na sinasabi, patuloy kang sisisihin sa corruption. 'Di ba? Yung survey, siya yung sinisisi, no? Hangga't wala siyang ipinapakulong, kinakasuhan, siya pa rin ang sisisihin, no? 50% ng mga na-survey, ang tingin yung corruption ay nakaugnay sa kanya. Either because he's a weak leader, an indecisive leader, or protektahan niya yung mga tao niya. Kailangan niya makatakas doon. It is not us. It's more than 50% of the population ang nagre-react doon. No? Kaya in a way, what we're talking about is his political survival. No? Dahil tayo, siyempre, mas malapot yung ating gusto. Pero simple lang ang gusto ng tao eh. May papakulong ka ba o wala? No? Meron ka bang gagawin para mabawasan man lang yung aming economic insecurity o wala? No? Meron ka bang i-offer sa amin na na kahit limited gains dito sa nangyayaring ito, no? Meron ba o wala? So, ito mga tao ito 'di ba sa lahat ng survey, ano pa rin ang number one, no? Inflation, 'di ba? Yung pa rin ang kanila, wages, economics 'di ba? Food on the table. 'Di ba? Yung pa rin yung hinihingi nila. Where is that? Where's the beef? Where's the beef, no? Yung pa rin ang kinukuha nila. At kasabay niyan, itong massive corruption scandal. What are you going to do about that? Especially, kayo gumawa ng promisa naalala mo ba nitong past 3 months? Almost every other day, lumalabas yung presidente. Di ba? Nung tinanggal niya yung passport ni Saldico, no? Nung sinabi niya, nakakasuhan, ikukulong na yung mga diskaya, no? Nung nag-file sila Vince Dizon ng 87 na dapat kasuhan ng ombudsman, di ba? Nung nag-resign si Babe Singson, no, in protest, di ba? Dahil wala silang masyadong support sa government agencies, especially Congress. These things hindi ito maipapagpag. That will remain a curse, a millstone on your neck. Hindi mo kailangan magaling sa data analytics to understand that. It's not us. No? It's ordinary people.
And where does this leave the Dutertes before we go to the last part of discussion, which is yung basically what we have been saying. Ito na,
Mas
this is the year
magiging
na dapat mag-step up.
mas
Where does this
magiging
leave?
viable ngayon yung atake mo sa Duterte. 'Di ba? Mas magiging viable. Dahil you're not just simply changing the narrative. You're doing something about your own commitments, no? You're doing something about the elephant in the room, about the massive corruption scandal. No? Sabihin lang naman ng mga Duterte, ito hundreds of billions no? Even trillion. Yung sa amin, 120 million na confidential fund, no? 50 billion ni Pulong, etc. Kayo, mas malaki yung sa inyo no? Bakit kami lang? Ngayon, yung sinasabi ng Duterte, cannot hold water kung gagawin ng Marcos government itong what they set out to do. Yung logical conclusion nung kanilang mahiya naman kayo campaign. Huwag mong kalimutan sa kanya nang galing yun. No? Tapos, kailan yun? July? 6 months na. So, ano nangyari? No? So yun, no? Integrated yan eh. Hindi mo pwedeng ihiwalay na, uy, focus muna sa offense. Sabayan.
And last part, Sir Ronald, I mean, there's so much more to discuss. I know it has been a long day. So, ang dami natin sinabi in terms of Marcos has to level up. Paano naman yung opposition? Are people still waiting for something to happen? Kasi parang it looks like you're also saying the other side also is not stepping up far enough, or it's just a matter of timing, especially February onwards.
Mahiya din. Mahiya rin tayo. Mahiya rin yung democratic opposition. We have to provide an alternative leadership. Ayaw natin dito sa Marcos, ayaw natin sa Duterte. Sino? Si Cardinal David? Cardinal yun eh, no? Sino? Sino yung magiging leader? Because 2028 is happening right now. Diba? It won't happen in 2028. People will choose 2028 now. No? Itong lumalawak na anti-corruption movement has to be led by an alternative, democratic, strong leader going into 2028. It cannot be business as usual. Diba? Kung ang tingin mo, business as usual, sang kuweba ka nakatira? Diba? Yun yung sinasabi natin. Kailangan din nating mahiya. No? Not on the same level ng mga corrupt. Pero kailangan nating mahiya if we are not going to provide leadership to this burgeoning anti-corruption movement, anti-impunity movement, anti-dynasty movement.
Where's the problem, Sir Ronald? Is it a software problem? Is it a temperamental problem? Is it an organizational problem? What's holding back, do you think, yung joining opposition from seizing the moment? Kasi parang historic opportunity ito eh.
It could be a combination of all of the above. Pero basically, it's about character. No? Ilagi natin sinasabi, no? Character is destiny. Mukhang yung character
Wait,
ng
you were saying that vis-a-vis BBM. Now you're saying that it applies also to the other side of the
it
equation.
applies to everyone,
Hmm.
no? It applies to everyone, no? Dahil humihingi itong anti-corruption movement ng isang leader na may ganitong character, no? Merong anti-corruption, may anti-impunity, may anti-dynasty, may integrity. Pero at the same time, may leadership. Di ba? May leadership. It's about leadership. Yung lahat ng sinasabi mo, kasama yan sa problema. But bottom line, it's about leadership. Who will lead? Di ba? Wala namang perfectong leader eh. Pero everybody, or at least one, should scale up as a leader.
Other school of thought, which is saying that, not only wait for Lenny, not only that Bam and Risa are already sending out fillers, that perhaps at this point in time, people are saying, konti na lang, wait it out, magkakaroon ng deluma, magkakaroon ng clear winner dito versus Marcos versus Duterte, and then we can focus on whoever is the winner. Yun yung labanan natin come to 2020. So anyways, there are different schools of thought. I was thinking, Sir Ronald, when it comes to whether kulang ba talaga sa proactiveness ng opposition, or the situation itself is ontologically indeterminate, if I could put it that way, Sir Ronald. I mean, kanina we were just saying, like on Venezuela, we don't know exactly what's going on. Is there a negotiation for a post-Maduro transition? I'm looking. Baka naman, Sir Ronald, we're being unfair to ourselves, to the opposition. Perhaps the opposition, Sir Ronald, they're still taking a couple of considerations into mind to make sure na hindi makakaroon ng premature epal moves or divisive posturing, or that just let the two giants take care of each other and then we'll come at the exact time. But your
Well,
position is very clear, right? This is the year. If you don't do it this year, good luck na lang sa atin.
well, to think na people will look at it as epal, to think na, hindi namin pwedeng banatan yung aming mga kapwa senador, no? Kahit itong aming kapwa senador ay key dito sa corruption scandal, Hindi namin sila pwedeng banatan dahil kami ay collegial body sa Senate, no? Kung sasabihin nila, oh, unahin ko muna yung aking lokalidad dahil I have to show something na meron ako nagawa. That's business as usual. That's presuming na itong outrage na ito ay just the usual outrage. Itong galit na ito is just the usual na galit. No? Itong impatience na ito is just the usual na impatience. Kung mag-scale up kami, it will just look Apple. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Ang framework niyan is business as usual. Nanggagaling ako sa framework that this is not business as usual. No? Naghahanap ng leader ang mga tao, especially the youth.
But sir,
Na,
to push back against that, I could also argue that yes, they will agree it's not business as usual, but they're also not sure. Baka takot sila they might make a mistake if they approach it in a certain way. Kumbaga, the fog of war is still too thick for them to make any major tactical move.
which is business as usual. Di ba?
Your read is that's all that diffidence or patience.
Calculation as if business as usual. Yun nga sinasabi ko eh. No? Kaya nga, hindi ko sinasabi na gayahin mo si Barsaga na maging disruptor. At least not that kind of disruptor. Di ba? Ang sinasabi ko, that won't work. Yung calculation mo, uy, we have to wait. Baka durugin ako this early. Uy, baka epal ang dating. Uy, we have to process this in a slow manner. No? In a slow burn. Come on. No?
Maybe not slow burn, mid burn. Hindi ba? Hindi pwede.
Oh, yun ang naman sinasabi ko.
I'm just trying to be fair kasi Sir Ronald, alam naman natin matalino naman sila Bam, sila Kiko, sila Risa Lenny. I mean, these are seasoned politicians, right? Sir Ronald. In a way, they're political analysts too.
Parang hindi naman talino yung hinahanap ngayon eh. No? Ang hinahanap ngayon is an emotional relationship. No? Ang hinahanap ngayon is a disruption.
Wait. Sir Ronald, distract. What do you mean emotional relationship?
What's yung emotional relationship with this movement? Di ba? Itong outrage na ito. You have to show na ikaw mismo ay outrage. Di ba? Yun ang sinasabi ko na moving out of the framework of business as usual. Hindi ito usapin lamang ng talino eh. Usapin ito ng risk.
Audacity, absolutely. Audacity of hope.
Iba yung kwan ito. In a way, no? For lack of a better term, the audacity of hope.
Yeah.
The
Very opaque.
audacity of outrage. Di
Right.
ba? The audacity of integrity versus cynicism. Dahil cynical yung mga tao eh. Ang tingin sa inyo, oy, lahat naman kayo nag-insertions. Lahat naman kayo nagpo-pork barrel. Di ba? Lahat naman kayo ay part of the group. You have to move away from that group. Di ba? Halimbawa, pag senador ka, hindi mo babanatan ng kapwa senador mo. Yung mga senador na kasama mo, nuno ng corruption eh. Ba't hindi mo babanatan? Because that is business as usual. Di ba? Yun ang sinasabi ko. No?
Are you suggesting, Sir Ronald, we're not equipped with the right leaders at this point in time?
Ang sinasabi ko, our new leaders have to understand the new terrain, the new challenge, the audacity needed. Yun ang sinasabi ko.
But how do you know that we know the right way forward, Sir Ronald?
Dahil
Experimental?
this movement won't accept others. It will accept them. But they have to be with them. Diba? They have to be with them now, not in 2027. Yun ang sinasabi ko, na not business as usual.
Yun nga, I think we all can agree we are in totally uncharted territories. My only thing is, ikaw, Sir Ronald, where do you get your audacity to know what is the way forward?
Because of what I'm seeing around me. Diba? Because of what I'm seeing, this is different. Unless isipin mo, oh, this is no different from all other election cycles. Oh, we are not facing our political extinction. No? So this is just one of those battles. Iisipin mo na gano'n, another election cycle, like all the others. Ang tingin ko iba, this is not just an election cycle. Kaya nga inuulit ko, this is a defining moment. This is an inflection point. This will be an
Existential. I
inflection
mean,
point.
in a way, existential too. I mean, because again,
Yes,
as things stand, I think
yes,
both of us made it clear. Sara Duterte is still the favorite to be the next president of the
exactly.
Philippines.
Exactly. This is existential, which is not business as usual. Yun ang sinasabi ko. No? Because this is existential, then you have to think out of the box. Yun ang sinasabi ko. Kung ano yan, I'm not sure myself. But definitely, it has to be different. And this movement has to be led not by priests, bishops, cardinals, but by political leaders. Now, yun ang sinasabi ko lang.
And Sharon, I mean, to be even more hindi man alarmist, but to be more parang vigilant about this. I mean, may posibilidad din na hindi mangyari ang 2028, right? That 2026 pa lang, some major political vacuum could be created even before there's an election, right?
Talagang, kung talagang hindi pa sapat yung errors at saka weaknesses ng gobyerno at gumawa pa sila ng mas dramatic mistakes this year, then that's no guarantee for their survival or even our own survival. Diba? But we have to plan based on what is the condition right now. And the condition right now is not normal. Ikaw na mismo nagsabi, it is existential. Diba? Which means it cannot be more of the same. It cannot be the usual normal.
And
Kakausap ko na yung mga kwan eh. Kakausap ko na yung mga tiga-simbahan.
I
Nakakausap ko na
know,
yung,
sir, you don't want to, they're behind the scenes discussions
yeah,
you
nakakausap ko
cannot
sila
share.
and
Yeah.
they're angry na hindi nagle-level up yung political leadership ng tunay na opposition, the real democratic opposition. No? They're angry. At tingin ko, hindi lang sila ang galit. Others are also angry.
Ah, okay. So it's already at that level. Okay. I thought it's still us, the usual
Yeah.
suspects complaining
Kanina lang.
about this.
Kanina lang umaga, I had a long meeting with the leaders of the Catholic Church and some civil society groups. What sila? They're angry na, where's the political leadership? It is not us. Ang ina-assert namin is our moral leadership. Where is the political leadership na dapat mag-harness nito? Yun yung hinahanap nila. Tingin ko hindi lang sila naghahanap, no? No? Yun yung tingin ko na hindi nauunawaan. Bakit hindi naman genius ang kailangan dito eh. Ang kailangan
Yeah,
dito
common sense.
is sentiment. You have to share their sentiment. You have to bear the scars of their outrage in your own flesh. No? You have to move out of your comfort zone.
At saka, I mean, I mean, people are suffering as we speak, diba? I mean, corruption is hurting people.
Kahapon lang eh,
Uncertainty
bumaha
of
na
the
naman eh.
economy. Yeah.
Umulan na lang konti, bumaha na naman all over Metro Manila eh. No?
People are gonna die if the flood control issue and all of this keeps on persisting. I mean, bad
Yeah.
infrastructure kills people. I mean, we also have to be very clear about that, Sir Ronald,
This is
right?
not a normal election cycle. Uy, magsimula tayong kumampanya 2027. Uy, magsimula tayong magbuo ng strategy. No, uy, this is the strategy. This anti-corruption movement, this anti-impunity movement, this anti-dynasty movement is the strategy. At hindi mo kinakailangan maging matalino to understand that.
And again, I don't want to be alarmist, but Sir Ronald, like sometimes I wonder, like, regimes die. I mean, as we speak, maybe maybe the Chavismo is over. I mean, we still don't know. I mean, it's not like regimes are given forever, right? The Marcos regime died at some point in time. The Tsarist regime in Russia died. I think sometimes we take things for granted, right? Oh, it's the next election. So it's not like just business as usual. Like, there's a very high possibility. Diba? We came close last year to an overthrow of the regime. I know Boying Remulla, John Wick dismissed that very confidently, nonchalantly in his interviews with us, but that's not how I read it. I mean, I talked to people from inside. They were very worried that things could tip over. As you said, the abyss gazed back at us, except at you.
Yes. This is a rare opportunity. Yung dalawang dynasties na nag-unite no 2022 and got a historic margin of victory unraveled quickly, immediately after winning. At ngayon, yan ang kinakaharap natin. So this is a rare opportunity to provide a political alternative. Where is the political alternative? Where is the political leadership leading that alternative? Yun ang sinasabi ko lang.
Ako,
No?
Sir Ronald, I mean, we'll
Hindi
discuss
lang
this.
ako yung impatient. No? I can be as pragmatic as the other guy.
You are,
Kasi
you are,
the
absolutely.
people I'm talking with are impatient.
And I
Hindi
can see you channeling that frustration, Sir Ronald. Obviously, we'll continue this more tomorrow, God willing. I want you to rest also. I know you were exhausted. Thank you so much, Sir Ronald, for putting. I mean, ako for at the very least. I mean, thanks to you, Sir Ronald. I mean, 2025, in many ways, kung may Barzaga yung kabilang, kami may Ronald Llamas. No, but kidding aside, Sir Ronald, you are putting yourself out there. I mean, like you're putting yourself in the crosshair of almost everyone, right and left. Kahit ako minsan tayong dalawa nagbubuli. Because you sense the urgency, right? And you're channeling the frustration and the pains of people. Ako, I'm just worried. Like, this thing might not be even sustainable. Obviously, hindi ka namin kasama with Leloy and Walden. We're discussing this. This political economy is not sustainable. Dynastic politics, extractive economics, hanggang kailan na lang tayo aasa sa remittances at BPO industry to save us from, a broken system. This is not gonna last forever. This thing is very fragile. And if we don't step up, this whole thing could fall apart.
Exactly. People are looking for leaders who have their skin in the game. Diba? Which is not business as usual. No.
Literally. On that note, thank you so much, Sir Ronald. I know exhausted ka, but I really had to bring that out kasi
Yeah.
I just realized, Sir Ronald, we're paying the price of decades of no party politics, no ideology politics, purong personality based, purong pakyut, purong performative. Because when I look at it, like, okay, so what is our framework? Diba? What is our ideology? Diba? I think Bernie Sanders said something very nice about it. He said something like, yeah, you can be for position X, Y, and Z, but that's policy. Iba yung may ideology ka, may framework ka. You're
Hmm.
clear where you want to go. Whether you're MAGA, whether you're, I don't know, Bernie, bro, or whatever. Parang ang napansin ko, Sir Ronald, everyone is tactical situational, no? Parang, etong gagawin natin, basta ano tayo dito. But where's the ideology? Where's the framework? At doon talaga nakukulangan ako, Sir Ronald. I mean, obviously, we don't want yung mga crazy communist, Chavismo ideology, whatever. But I also don't like this vacuous, supine, liberal oligarchic system we have kasi parang tactical situational na lang eh. I'm like just you play it by the ears, just muddling through, and we're seeing the limits of the system. This system is not sustainable. It's not delivering for the Gen Zs and the younger generation. So ultimately the question, Sir Ronald, here is how should we win over the Gen Zs? Because the Gen Zs and the millennials will be the biggest voting bloc. And if there's a revolution, they will be the biggest force in any revolution.
Yes. And they're looking for leaders who can share their pain, who can share their outrage, who can share their desperation. No? So yun yung hinahanap nila. At sa ngayon, parang nasaan sila? No? They're there eh. Pero gustong makasama nitong bagong movement na nabubuo. Now, hindi sa 2027 or 2028. They want them to be with them now. Sharing their pain, sharing their desperation, no? Yun yung
Absolutely. Siguro we have to also have more focus group discussion and also direct discussion with Gen Z thought leaders and mga others kasi purong tayo mga millennials lang magkasama, Sir Ronald. Ano, but
ako naman, I may be wrong, pero ah, bumaba sila.
yeah.
Bumaba sila.
It's interesting. I didn't expect that from you this today, no? But it looks like you're channeling some. Akala ko tayo lang nagfi-feel yan since 2022 July, right? Ito basically complaint natin.
Yun
Where
yung
is
mahalaga.
yeah.
Yung sinabi mo, this is an existential battle.
Kaya nga, that's why I warn na I really genuinely hope yung 2025 success natin will not be like the success of Democrats in, was it 2023, 2022, di ba? Naging complacent sila eh. Kaya hindi sila nag-level up tuloy, natalo sila ni Trump, di ba? Kinain sila ng buhay ni Trump. So I just
Yeah.
hope success in midterms or relative success in midterms will not create that kind of complacency. Mabuhay kay Sir Ronald, magpahinga ka muna.
Meron
Looking
pa
forward
isa.
to let's do a framework discussion tomorrow, and I'm sure yung Maduro discussion would be more and more mainit.
Yes,
Dahil
yes,
yung ibang kaibigan
yes.
natin, more familiar with Chavismo and also with the US politics.
I'll be gentle with Walton and Lloyd.
Oh, but I'm hoping Lord De Vera joins us because we need Lord De Vera. Ayoko ng baboy. Ayoko ng baboy. Ayan, gusto natin yan. The more UST panelists, the better. We're also hoping to have si JC, Jose Custodio, para may right-winger din tayo. No, just kidding.
Yes.
Kailangan natin ng, kasi tayo social democrat, tapos may left tayo. Kailangan natin ng right wing. Kaya nagbiro ako.
Ano ba si Leloy?
Ano, no?
Ano ba si Leloy?
No, si Lelo
That was
is like,
that
alam
was
mo,
a trick question. That was a trick question.
actually, si Lelo nung episode namin with Walden, I was openly saying, kasi si Walden, China siya ng China. Alam mo, nagsasabi niya, China, ginagawa ka, nagsisinti ako. Tapos sabi ko, ikaw, Leloy, di ba, liberal ka? Tapos bigla si Leloy, biglang nag-ano siya, parang siya Mark Gamboa style. I'm open eh. I'm willing to listen to. Sabi ko, ayan ka na naman eh. Anong stance mo? Ayaw natin ng ganito. Kasi si Walden sinasaksak din. Nagchi-China na naman. Ayan ka na naman, Sir Ronald. Ay, Sir So ginagawa ko sa kanya, ginagawa ko sa, wait, wag mo ng China. Dito muna tayo.
Gusto ko lang, Juan, mas gusto ko lang banatan by making a stand rather than hindi babanatan by not having a stand.
Ayun lang. Yeah. Thankfully, nung umulan ng stands at stand ng The Day of Creation, hindi
Wala
tayo
akong payong.
nagkulang.
Wala akong payong. Wala
Wala,
akong...
hindi lang tayo nagpayong. Alam mo yung, ganun. Meron tayong taga-ano nagkabot, tapos nagaganon-ganon tayo sa Ronald. So, pagdating sa confidence at saka stance, mukhang hindi tayo nagkakulang sa Ronald. Pero I'm happy na hindi tayo nag-iisa. It looks like other people who are more spiritually wise and deep than us are also realizing what we have been warning about for so long. Mabuhay kayo sa Ronald. Magpahinga ka please and looking forward to catching up in flesh.
Isa pa ngayon. There's
Ano po?
another podcast. Attorney Enzo.
I know. Ayan na yun, Dos Amigos. Talk to you
He's
soon. God
waiting.
bless.
He's waiting.
Oh,
Salamat.
make sure naka-charge yan. Baka ma-off na naman.
Salamat. Ito nga, hindi
Salamat.
nga ako
God bless.
charge.
Charge ka, baka mawala na.
Ito, kaya natagalan. Hindi ko alam kung paano mag-charge.
Sir Ronald, etong year you have to get a full technical team. By the way,
Yeah.
congratulations. 70,000 na followers mo on Facebook. Wow, in 6 months. Wala pang 6 months, naka 70,000 ka na. So, malapit na yung 0.6% movement. God bless.